.NET Sim for CCNP 7.0. Really great program, I should say. Okay, so let's go ahead and select it. And I will say that if you don't have a lot of routers available, you don't want to spend a lot of money on routers, this is a pretty solid software. It does have its bugs, but what simulator program doesn't? I mean, it's very hard to emulate that actual networking environment. So let's get started. Okay, so to set up your very simple network, let's go ahead and choose NetMap at the icon up at the top. So we're going to do that. I'm going to enlarge this. Okay, on the left-hand side, you're going to see devices and connections. All right, you'll see available routers, available switches, available connections, and other devices. Other devices are PCs, and you get to obviously choose a type of interaction you have there. Today we're going to choose available routers. Okay, and as you can see on the left-hand side, you have a lot of available routers to you. We're going to use 2500 series. Now, what we want to do is we want to select the router that we want. So let's go with a 2501. And you notice down at the bottom here, it shows you the capabilities as far as the interfaces. So to take this router and put it in to designate as a router for our network, you would just simply drag and drop. Now, I'm going to create a name. My router name is going to be R1. So we go ahead and create that and press apply. Now for network, we obviously need another router, so let's choose 2502. It only has 2 serial interfaces, so let's drag and drop there. Let's do R2 and apply. Great. So we got 2 routers. Now we need to make a connection in between them. So let's start off with R1. Right click on R1 and you have an option to add connection to, delete the device, or remove a connection. Obviously we haven't added a connection, so we can't remove it. So I'm going to choose serial 0 because the R2 only has serial interfaces. So you have an option of point-to-point serial connections and point-to-multi-point serial connections. The only difference here is that obviously, as you can see, point-to-multi-point serial connections are frame relay only. The point-to-point serial connections are any layer 2 protocol that you want. So let's do next. Now, the available devices is nothing more than what routers you have in the gray area that's going to participate in this connection. R2 is the only one there. We're going to select that. We're going to connect it up to serial interface 0. This says R2's serial interface 0. Okay, so I've verified everything looks good. I'm going to finish. Now here is the DCE DTE selection. When you select what side is going to be the DCE, naturally the other side is going to be the DTE. So we're going to say R1 serial 0. If you look down, obviously the other one could be the DCE. We're going to say R1 serial 0. Again, that's going to be the DCE for this simple point-to-point network. So it's okay. So there you have it. There is our very simple network. There's a lot more to this. At a later date, we're going to go into the command line interface of configuring a router and just getting to know the Boson software and how it looks and behaves compared to a regular router. Now, this basic step is, very basic. You can, using these simple steps, you can configure just about any type of network. It just really, depends on the type of network you want to create. So stay tuned next week, and we're going to go through building a simple network connection via the command line interface in the Boson simulator. And we'll just look to see what things are in there and what's not. And at a later date, we'll do the same on live routers, and we'll show you the difference. This really is intended to be a Boson critique and how to. Have a good day, and thank you for joining the 8thlayers.net blog. And on a side note, the main page is still a work in progress. I do work full-time and go to school full-time. Well, it feels like I go to school full-time, but I do go to work full-time and I go to school. So it's a work in progress, and thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned.